So in case you got a BusPirate, for example, like I have, you have a lot more connectors. Now, if we take a look at the common cable pinouts diagram, we can see that we need the UART, so we need the gray cable and the black cable. So if you take a look, we need gray, black, and we also need ground, which is brown. So I highly recommend that you take a look at this diagram whenever you need to hook up something if you have a BusPirate, because it may be quite confusing with all these wires and stuff like that. So you can see that we also have one wire, we have I2C, SPI, and JTAG. So that's quite interesting. So let's see, there is brown. I think that's brown that I have here. So we can connect this here. And then we have gray. Let's see, that's TX. So we'll put this here. And then we have white, which is RX. Let's see if I can plug it in. They have a little square, these cables, so you have to try and align them, but they're not super easy to align. Okay, so now that that has been done, we also need to connect it to a computer. So this one is using another type of USB. So we will just connect it, and you can see there's some power here. So we will open up PuTTy and we will open a new window. And let's see, it should run over COM. So either it will be 4 or 5. So it's not 4, maybe it's 5. And it's not 5. Alright, so it looks like it is COM6 in this case. And this is the console for the BusPirate. As you can see, it's not super user-friendly, but it has a lot of modes and a lot of stuff you can do, so that's pretty cool. So if we take a look at the guide, for example, for connecting to UART, it's quite simple, even though there's a lot of stuff, you know. So the first thing that we want to do is maybe look at the voltage and see if we can set that. So I think it's set to 3.3. Let's just see. And you can't do backspace on this terminal, so make sure that you don't screw it up. So I think we have to set the mode first. So we will press M, and then we will select number 3, which is UART. And then we will set it to 115,200, which is 9. And just set it to the first one, I think it is. Yeah, default. And the first one. And the first one. And here you will set it to 2, which is normal. 3.3 volts. And here it's not really ready yet. So it is kind of ready, but in case you want to, for example, interact with it like the other time that we did, we need to do a little bit more work. Because here we only have like, you're not seeing a terminal yet. It's not even acting as a terminal. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do, but you want to run one of the macros instead. So I think, oh yeah, we need to do a 0. And here we have a list of options that we can use. So we can use the transparent bridge and the bridge with flow control. So I'm not sure what they're recommending in this guide. They're recommending the transparent bridge. And let's see. it says that we probably could use this, I guess. Let's see, what about the live monitor? So the live monitor, that is basically like the transparent bridge, but you're not able to send any data. So in our case, we probably want to send some data. So we're going to use the transparent bridge, which is number 1. So we'll write in parentheses 1. And as soon as we do that, it will make it possible to work. But we have to turn it on. And in my case, it looks like the ground or something else is wrong, because this is what happens if you have a bad ground or a bad connection. So it looks very weird, as you can see, and something is definitely wrong. Now, I'm not sure why, because it has worked before, but we will just turn off the power. Maybe we can switch these two out and see if it was because we connected TX and RX wrong. And try again. Alright, so I found out what the issue was. Instead of using the black and the gray wire, as shown in this diagram, I was using the white and the gray wire. So obviously that's not going to work. So I have connected them again. So we have the black wire to RX and the gray wire to TX. So we will just open the interface again. Press enter. And then we will select M for mode, 3 for UART, 9 for the board speed as shown here. And just press enter, enter, enter. And for the voltage, just select number 2, which is 3.3 volts. And we can also turn off the power supply, even though we haven't supplied any power via the red cable, but we will just turn it off. So we need to run some macros, and to list the macros we need to write parentheses and then 0, like so. And we need to use, for example, this bridge or this bridge. We could also use the live monitor, but if we want to send data to the device, then we need to use the transparent bridge or the bridge with flow control. So we can try and use the transparent bridge and then select yes. And as soon as we boot this up, we should see something on the screen. So we will just make it bigger. And here we go. So you can see it's booting up nice and easy like before. So that's pretty cool. But that's how the BusPirate works as a UART bridge. And as you know, or have seen briefly, it can function as many other things, which will be quite interesting to try out once I get some devices that support these modes. So stay tuned and subscribe.